For all indications, we are live. We got our chat going. Oh, here we go. I was on the wrong page. How you doing, Terry? Hey, Quentin, I see you're here. Let's see. Bear with me. I'm looking for my chat. Where's my chat? Oh, I'm on the wrong page. That's I'll figure this out one of these days. How's everybody doing? Quentin, how you doing? What you doing up so late? Oh, got your new pickup today. All right, Terry. Now, is this, I can't remember. Do you have a pole behind barbecue pit that you drag around? Is this for that? I'm going to, where's my comments? Here we go. Here you go, Q, if you want to come up. Watching college football. I don't watch a lot of football unless I'm Well, I don't watch a lot of sports unless I'm sitting somewhere where it happens to be on. I'm trying to keep track of the chat. Getting one soon. It should be ready next month. What did you order, Terry? Hey, Big Matt, welcome. This has been another kind of a wasted Saturday for me. I sat outside and had my coffee, and that was about, I don't know, 9, 10 o'clock. After a few coffees and a few adult beverages and a few sodas, about 4 o'clock I got up. 330-gallon trailer. Jeez, how many? You're going to be ready for anything, aren't you? I have never had a trailer pit. I've often wondered if, can you go down the road with those things lit? Can you get something started and hook up and have it still cooking while you're going down the road? Or, I don't know, now that I think about it, would it be like a straw with that air blowing across it, maybe run your stuff hot? Inquiring minds want to know. Well, what game are you watching, Quint? I don't know one college team from the next, to be honest with you. I think it has to be put out. Is that a transportation laws? Or is that just physics so you don't burn stuff up? Because I would be tempted to have that thing cooking as I head over there. Fire hazard. Okay. All right, Q. Next question is, who you rooting for? I don't have a dog in a fight. Hey, y'all, I hope it didn't go unnoticed, y'all, that I was pretty much on time tonight. I think this is as close to being on time as I've ever been. Kind of proud of that. Hey, Russ, how you doing? Yeah, that's what I was thinking, Russ. It's, I would, to me, that would be hard to cook on the pit and then put the fire out and then get it started back up when you get on the other end. We don't like anything Michigan. Well, I get that. I'm originally from Indianapolis, so first 24 years of my life I spent in Indianapolis. So there wasn't no love lost between Indy and Michigan on anything. Sorry, guys, I forgot to turn that down. Oh, that was Madwoods. Gee, many, Terry. How can I show that on the screen? I don't know if that's even going to show up. What'd you say it was, 330 gallons? That's pretty impressive, Terry. Pretty impressive. Is that brand new, or it looks brand new in the picture? What? Who's building that? Is that just a private individual that you know? My wife would just peel me alive if I came home with something like that. I'd have to section half of it off so I'd have a place to sleep. Floating like a Rice Krispie on the milk. SLE Equipment. Is that must be a local place around you? I have not heard of them. It sounds like you probably do a lot more fabrication than just pits. Am I close? Tennessee. So is that going to be a pretty good drive for you to go pick that up? I mean, it's like a road trip, couple day road trip. Because I can't remember where you're located, Terry. $10. Well, that would be a long round trip. Yeah, I would have to. Yeah, you're in Iowa. Okay, I thought you were up that way. So you're not too far from Kent, are you? Russ, if you want to jump up here, there's a link. Terry Quint. You just click away. Haven't talked to Charlotte this weekend. I sent her a link. I'm thinking she's probably, this is the time of year when her son's playing marching band at all the ball games. So I expect to see her, but she may be a little bit late coming in. Uh-oh, is that Terry again? Yeah, I don't know who that is. It's too dark to be out front. You don't have a shirt on. Well, that never stopped. That never stopped DJ. put a shirt on, man. Come on up. I mean, you don't have to put on the whole ensemble, just a shirt and don't get up. I mean, who knows? I may just be wearing a shirt and a smile. Terry, you working off a laptop and your camera's just not working anymore? Or you got a webcam that's just not behaving? Yeah, I've got an old laptop. For some reason, the camera decided to give it up one night. I've got another one. It's a little bit newer, but I don't like the camera on it. It's not. It just doesn't look sharp to me. And I'll tell you what, these little Logitech cameras are. I mean, they're old, but they're still going on strong. That's a Logitech right here. You can see how it picks up the fabric on that chair. That's one of them 920s. And you can still pick those up for around $50. Catch sale just right. So, Russ, what have you been up to? We've not actually talked in quite a while. We've passed each other in chat several times, but different live streams. I can't remember. Are you retired? People keep bugging me to retire, and I don't know why they're so eager to get me unemployed. Although last week it could have come close with me. Man, I got a piece of machinery down and it's just making me pull my hair out. Hey, good night, Quentin. Thanks for stopping by. So I'm assuming the game's over. And if I don't see or talk to you before, I'll see you next Wednesday. Yeah, we got some old equipment at the shop. I'm talking, these big old 3-phase cast iron monsters are 50, 60 years old. Every time one of them breaks down, you have to call somebody who has the old mechanical drawings and blueprints, and have to have something special made, at a machine shop, because there's just no parts available anymore. And it wouldn't be prudent to even try to keep parts on a shelf for stuff that old. They're probably waiting on mine to completely quit so they can get out of that business. Currently unemployed, but I can retire approximately 10 to 15 years after I'm dead. That's about right. Yeah, that's kind of the way I watch them, Quentin. I can't invest 2, 3, 4 hours on a ball game. I'll generally watch the 15-minute highlights on YouTube. It's pretty much the way I watch NASCAR anymore. Man, I used to. Man, every Sunday I'd sit at the TV. Some of them races would drag on for the whole day, and just watch them cars go around and around. I'd just soon watch it on YouTube and get the 10-minute summary. Because I haven't watched a lot of NASCAR since. Jimmy Johnson's. He's not driving anymore. Jeff Gordon's not driving anymore. Junior's not driving anymore. Just. You got a whole new stable of young people in there. I don't even know one from another because I haven't been watching. Well, Terry, when are you going to learn? I only say that because that sounds like something I would do or have done. I get these projects going out back, and the projects usually go pretty good, but it's the fighting between me and the wife and arguing whether or not I need help. She needs to call somebody. And I said, no, I wouldn't have started if I didn't think I could do it. Hey, Marcel, how you doing? Good to see you. I appreciate you popping up to say hi. What y'all watching? Let me check. 53 kids. Dang, Russ. I'd be having to get me a job just so I can get some rest. Let's check and see if I got any. No, not talked to anybody yet. Nobody's responded. Ghost hunting video, actually. But be careful. Watch your back. Yeah, if you get a chance, I'll stop by after a bit and pop on up. I expect Charlotte to be here in a little while. Yeah, Russ. That's a lot of people under one roof. Sometimes this house gets a little small, and it's just two of us. I mean, sometimes it gets real small. Enjoy your movie, Marcel. Well, folks, I was kind of puttering around in the yard a little bit today. Parked my butt in a chair most of the day. But the yard's finally starting to take shape. Now it's starting to cool off a little bit. Some of the gardening stuff is starting to look a little bit better. It was getting pretty fried there for a while. I say cooling off, it's 91, 92, but that feels cool to us. I bought here a few years ago. I bought a swamp cooler. Okay, I'll come back to that. The machine ring, I've got an old. They're called auto nailers. A lot of furniture companies use them, and what it does is you load up a spool of wire, and it's got a hold down cylinder that comes. You step on a pedal. This hold down cylinder slams the two pieces of wood together, and it pushes that wire up through it like a nail, like a headless nail. So pretty much like a finishing nail. So it pushes the wire. You set the depth, so it pushes it in, countersinks it, and clips it all in one bang. So you can set a guy up there, and we're making circles. We're making flanges for wooden reels and spools. So you can get a guy there. He gets into his rhythm. He can just step on that pedal and just hold it down, and just rock that thing all the way around. You may one big spool one big flange. It may have 200-300 nails in it. Well, that thing went down. It's probably, oh gosh, the manual. I found an old manual on it a few years back because the pages all turned yellow and silverfish had got on it, and I mean it's got to be 60, 70-year-old piece of machinery. And last two times it broke down, I had to have parts made for it. I had to make gears, shafts for the gears. Right now we got a bearing out. The bearing fell apart, so we're trying to get that race off the shaft. It got hot and fused itself to the shaft. So we've been 3 days trying to get that sucker off. I think I got a guy coming in Monday. He's pretty skilled with a torch, so I think we're going to heat it up, see if we can pull it off or break it or something. And I got another big machine. It's a boring machine. And what this boring machine is, it's got one big, huge 3-phase motor at the top. This thing's probably 10 foot tall, 12 foot tall. And off of that motor's got a big gear head. It's got like, I think it's got 10 shafts on U-joints that comes down off that one motor. And basically you can drill 10 holes at one time. So you chuck up all your bits and stuff like that, set your material down into place, and that table raises up, and it'll cut all the holes at once. And it's probably a good 50, 60 years old. But yeah, they're still going. That's true. Machinery of that era, that circa, is still good machinery. It's just really hard to find parts. I mean, real hard to find parts. But, when it goes out, that's your livelihood. That's, I'm kind of dead in the water until I get this thing fixed. And I got orders stacking up. And it will make you turn gray and want to pull your hair out sometimes. But we should have it back up and running another day or so. Hopefully tomorrow or Monday we'll get it going. I forget what I was talking about before that. I said I'd circle back to it. If I can't remember what it is, I can't do that. What was it? Oh, anyway, it'll come back to me. Oh, I know what it was. I'd bought a swamp cooler, a small swamp cooler. In fact, I had bought this thing. I keep talking year after year after year. Every year I want to build me a new deck. Every year I just dwell on it. My wife's so sick of hearing about it. But something comes up and I end up. I am not going into debt for a new deck. So every time I just about get the funds where I need it, where I won't feel bad spending it, something comes up. But I bought this swamp cooler for the new deck, and I bought this thing it's probably been almost 10 years ago, and I finally drug it out of the garage the other day, or last weekend, or weekend before last, and hooked that thing up. And it does pretty well. I had heard that they don't work very well here in Houston because we're so humid. And the way the swamp coolers work is off of evaporation. When the humidity's up so high, it just doesn't evaporate the water like it would if it was really dry. But it drops at about 8 degrees, which is, hey, if it's 95. If we can get it down to 88 or 89, that still feels pretty cool when it's blowing on you. So, got that thing hooked up. We've been enjoying that. Hey, nothing but love. How you doing? Thanks for stopping in. Appreciate it. So I got the fan hooked up, and at first the wife didn't think it was doing much, and I put my thermal pen behind it, and in front of it showed her 8 degrees difference, and she was pretty impressed with that. So now we can't live without it. So what you been up to? Nothing but love. So I've been on a quest trying to find some decent treated lumber. And, I hate to sound like one of them guys talking about the olden days all the time, but, the material on my deck, that was the old womanized lumber. It was, what did that have, a 20-year warranty on or something like that? And I've had that thing down almost 40 years now. Maybe, put that down. It's about 38 years I've had that. And the part that we spend most of our time on I mean, it's still sturdy when you walk across it. It doesn't bounce or crack or anything like that, but it's showing its age. And the last time I bought treated material was for a flower bed out front. Ground contact, and that whole thing rotted in about 3 years. And I'm trying to find something decent to put down on a deck. And I may end up having to go with this Trek stuff. I like the looks of it, but I'm overkill kind of guy. I like a full tube of 6 or tube of 8 down there, and that Trek stuff is what, 5/8, which means you got to run your stringers underneath it closer together, so you got added expense for that. You got treated pallets from the airport. How'd they hold up, Terry? How have they been holding up? For years I've had my existing deck did not have a cover over it. So whatever I come back and build new will be covered, so I'll have that going for me. But really the only, other than, turning colors and black and all that, the really only rotten place I have is where, flower pots have got sat down on them and watered and rotted out. Hey, Lance, how you doing? Yeah, you're right, Lance. All the arsenic and all the good stuff. I mean, I've had that deck for years, and I've had a lot of people over. I've had a lot of kids over, and I've not seen anybody lick my deck yet. So I don't know why they had to fix something that wasn't broken. So even the stuff that's rated ground contact, it's just not holding up. Now, the last couple of projects I've done that I had to bury post into the ground, I've been using the what's this black rubber stuff they're touting on TV all the time. Flex Seal. Where they build the boat out of a storm window or storm door. Well, you can get this stuff in caulk tubes. You can get it, the stuff I've been getting has been in quart cans. And you can literally just paint it on. And I've been painting the bottom of my post with that stuff and letting it dry out really good before I buried it. And I'm hoping that will keep those posts together, oh gosh, long after I'm gone. Because, old posts that I've dug up around here that I put in place years and years and years ago, I mean, the only place they really rot is right at ground level. Right where the ground and oxygen can react. Because way down in the ground, even when it's wet, I've taken floor jacks and stuff and picked that stuff up before. And once you can get it to break the suction, it's good shape on the bottom, even though it's soaked. But right at ground levels where it usually does the most damage. Let me look at the chat here. The soil in Houston, where I'm at, is pretty sandy. You go down about, I don't know, 2 foot or so, maybe 3 feet, you can get some pretty good clay. But it's not bad soil where I'm at. Now, that being said, I am in a subdivision, so I don't know what the ground was like before they tore all the crap building these houses. So I don't know if it's sandy because they just dumped 2 foot of sand out here and built my house on top of it. I don't know. Now, my brother has a foundation repair or leveling company, and he came down here this summer with a crew to level my house out. And he's up in Dallas, north of Dallas, up in Wiley. And his crew was just raving over how nice things dug around my house. Cause I guess they got a lot of stone, a lot of rock soil up there where he's at. So, yeah, they didn't complain at all. They said it dug pretty good. Anytime I've had to dig flower beds and stuff, it seems to dig up pretty nice. Yeah, nothing but love. You've seen that commercial. That guy's got a screen door on the bottom of his boat. Sonia, hey, how you doing tonight, hon? Appreciate you tuning in, taking your time. I think Charlotte will be here in a little while. I haven't talked to her, but I'm assuming her son's got a ball game tonight. And for anybody you guys that don't know, her son's in marching band, and he's there every game halftime. She's there supporting him. And then again, I was thinking about maybe pouring a concrete slab instead of trying to do the deck. The only problem I have with concrete slab is I just looked. You guys are close to the coast. Oh yeah. I'm only maybe an hour from the Gulf. I mean, yeah, I can go in my backyard and dig down 2 feet, and by tomorrow that thing will be full of water. The water table's just right at the surface. But Terry, you have a good evening. I hope you get to feeling better, and man, keep me updated on that pit. I'll be glad to be happy to see that. Yeah, my family up north, I tell them all the time, because they got to worry about. Well, I mean, we've worried about freezing and stuff here too, keeping our pipes wrapped and stuff. Up there, I think the frost line is 30 inches, 34 inches, something like that. And the last couple of winters, we've had some pretty severe winters down here. They called down to see how things were going. I said, well, everybody's pipes are blowing up because down here they build your house. They run the pipes in an outside uninsulated wall, run it across an uninsulated attic or above the insulation. Told them, I said, we only bury the pipes around here, just keep them tripping over them. So I'll go with the mean girl. I don't know what you're talking about, Russ. Sounds like some drama I wasn't privy to. Yeah, the problem with building a slab is, deed restrictions and all that kind of crap, and having to go through all them people. Kind of hard to hide a cement mixer truck when you're trying to get this stuff in the backyard. You got a truck sitting out front, and I wouldn't be able to pour the size slab that I can build with the wood deck, because I can I can overhang my easement just a little bit and not affect anything if they need to come back here and dig. Or, I mean, worst case scenario, I could just cut the end of the deck off and let them do their thing and then reattach it. Oh, mean girl from the band. Oh, that's right, Russ. I forgot about that. Well, man, I don't know. I would be a bad parent in that situation. And I wouldn't be talking to the mean girl either. I'd be all over that boy. But he'll handle it in his own way, I'm sure. Three-foot frost line in New Jersey. Man, I would hate to think I had to dig 3 feet every time I wanted to lay a pipe somewhere. mean, I did. I ran. I've got a greenhouse that I built. Greenhouse slash filter room for my koi pond. So I've got, I ran electric over to it. I've got two circuits running over to with oh gosh, the ground fault boxes in them, and I got running water in the sink and all that kind of stuff. So when I run the water line, I tapped into my outside spigot and dropped the line down and buried it and ran it over to the greenhouse and popped it up through the slab when I poured it. And I think I buried it 24 inches. And my neighbors come over just laughing like that's the stupidest thing they'd ever seen me digging that deep. And I said, well, if anybody cuts it, I'll be the one to cut it with a shovel. So I got it down there far enough to protect it from me. I have seen that. Russ. I have seen that. When I'm doing projects out back, I got to tell you the hardest part of any project I've done back here is just getting materials from the front to the back. I mean, I laid some flagstone down many years ago, and I think I mixed up 22 bags of concrete in a wheelbarrow and a hoe by myself. And needless to say, it wore my butt out. But even with all of that, it was harder carrying them bags from the truck in the front of the house to the backyard and stacking it. I mean, I'm getting to the point now to where if I was to hire help, it'd just be some labor just to drag that stuff back there so to be close to where I need to work. But that mud machine, that mixer, it looks pretty slick. Of course, if I was going to be pouring a slab, I would want to pour one. When I get ready to build this deck, it's going to be, I think, 16 by 20. Give or take, half a foot or so. Because 16 foot material is about all I can carry to the back. So carry that back there, deck will probably end up being 15 and a half, 15.8, something like that. Give me just enough to trim the ends off, nice and straight. But when I set it on my post on the ground, then I can cantilever that, about 3 feet out towards my easement just a little bit, and I'm not digging down where there's any wires or anything, any utilities. But in the I've been there 42 years. They've only come back here to dig in my yard twice. And once was to replace an electrical line for the whole neighborhood. And even then, they were only about, 2 foot off the fence. I think there's an 8 foot easement back there. And then a couple summers ago, AT&T came and dropped some fiber. And, they didn't stick that, but maybe a foot in the ground. So I think as long as I stay out of everybody's way, I'll be okay. OOF. Oof. Well, if I'm looking over here at my feed on YouTube, if y'all got time and you want to, I'd sure appreciate a thumbs up. Kind of help the channel out a little bit. Maybe you already did, and I just need to refresh. Oh, there's 2. You know what? I need a thumbs up my own stream. I forget that most of the time. That's all. That's all right, Sonia. I forget. I forget to, to thumbs up my own stream most of the time. I've gone back a few days later and had to do that. So, Sonia, what's been up with you? I think it's been a few weeks since I seen you in here. Guys, I grilled up some chicken thighs tonight, and I was trying to figure out. Thank you, Sonia. Uh, Something different to do, so I debone the thighs and stretch the skin out real good, and then I did some stovetop stuffing chicken flavored, and stuck some onions and some other seasoning stuff in it, and then stuffed those thighs with it, rolled them up real tight, and pulled that skin around there, and used some Uncle Steve's competition bird powder, or bird shake, I think he's calling it. And man, them things come out really good. Got compliments from the wife and everything. I appreciate it, Misty. Kids grew up. Son is an engineer now. Let me put it up here. Daughter's graduation. Pastry chef, nice. Well, there's a lot to be said when your nest is starting to get empty. What kind of engineer is he? Is he a civil engineer, architectural? Do you drive a train? Graduated, so I'm assuming your daughter went to culinary school? That's something I think would be fun. I don't care to mechanical engineer. Okay, well, he'll always be working. He'll always have a job somewhere. Yeah, I think it would be fun to go to culinary school. I don't have any interest in being a chef or anything like that, but I think it'd be a blast. Be an expensive blast, but I think it'd be great. They've got a culinary school here in Houston that I guess it's a good school. I haven't heard anything bad about it. But I mean, it'd be interesting to pick up some pointers and stuff like that. Learn that. But I think pastry chef, that sounds like a fun job to me. Oh, okay, Sonia. Okay. So are they out of the house or just looking for a place? Or maybe you're looking for a place for them. Yeah, my some of you know my wife's son stayed with us for, well, it was going to be for a couple of months, but it went on for about 4 years, a little over. And I'll tell you what, just that one extra body. Now bear in mind he was 40 years old, but just that one extra person in the house really made the walls come in kind of close. And I was really glad when we had the house back to ourselves. Oh, sorry to hear that, Sonia. I hope I hope they're on a path to get everything under control for you, for her. Comes to visit on the weekends. All right. Well, that's good. I haven't seen her son since the wife kicked him out. But I'm not saying that's a bad thing. When is that medical stuff since she was born? Okay, so I mean that's kind of her normal then. So I mean she handles things pretty well. And I guess something like that. You probably that's just part of your normal routine. Uh, I mean, like I said, her normal and your normal, kind of. So anyway, I'm bouncing all over the place. So back to my chicken thighs. I put them on the gas grill tonight, and I pretty much use my gas grill as an oven. I just hate to heat the house up, so put it about there, elevated. I think it was right at 350, 360, something like that. I don't have little gauges on the grills. You don't know how dependable they are. For about an hour, and like I said, they came out really good. So I did 8 of them and ended up vacuum sealing them, the leftovers. So I think I had 4. No, I had 5 of them. So I put 3 in a pack and 2 in a pack. Already cooked, so they'll be put in the freezer. And some night after work, I want something quick and dirty. I'll just grab one of those and drop them in a pan of boiling water, like a sous vide, and let them heat up. You dump them out, and it's just like the day you made it. So I've been doing that a lot here lately, as far as freezing food I've already prepared. I used to do that, and then you'd put it in Tupperware or something like that and eat it through the week. But by vacuum sealing them and freezing them, you're not, the stuff didn't go bad on you, and it thaws out really fast. Grilled off a flank steak. Now that sounds good. Yeah, some people in the community laugh at me because I still use a gas grill, but I tell you what, there ain't nothing any handier. I've heard the argument that you can light up charcoal pretty fast, but to be honest with you, after I've worked all day and I come home, I don't want to fool with the charcoal. I don't want to get all smoked up. I can turn a gas grill on, and before I can get the meat ready in the kitchen, it's already up to temperature. And one of these days, I've got a pellet grill that I'm going to replace the gas with, I think. And we'll see how that goes. My brother's got one. He says it comes up temperature pretty fast. In fact, I got the gas or the pellet grill from him. One of those Saturday secret handshake jobs. He got a pretty good mess of them. I brought a few of them home, resold them, kept one for myself. But this thing's been sitting on my deck now about I think this is the fourth summer I've had that damn pellet grill. It's still in the box. I probably need to crack that box open, make sure there's nothing living in it. Get that thing set up and start using it. I hope it starts because it's out of warranty by now. But summertime, I'll do anything I can not to turn the stove on or turn the oven on. I move electric bills as high as they are now. It just doesn't make sense to me to try to cool the house and got the oven running at the same time. It's still hot here, Sonia. I can't remember where you live. I said our cold fronts are like 91 and 92 down here right now. Hey, Jen, how are you doing tonight? Good to see you. I've told other people I have not heard from Charlotte this weekend. I'm assuming she's at a football game with her son. And when they get home, she'll probably pop in, I think. I hope she's not down sick or nothing. Like I said, I haven't talked to her. Jen, if I was any better, I'd be you. We are talking about anything and everything right at the moment. Did you cook anything good tonight? I'll tell you what, Sonia kind of got me excited about that flank steak. I haven't had fajitas in a long time. Maybe I just need to do some fajitas tomorrow. That's always fun. And I'll do those on my big smoker. I'll do those right over the firebox. I'll throw a chimney of charcoal in there I'll move that grate about halfway up. Throw some charcoal in there, maybe a little piece of whatever I got back there to make a little bit of smoke. And maybe I'll do some feed. That sounds pretty good. I can do those on the gas, but they don't taste quite as good as on the charcoal. That's just my opinion. On the weekend, I don't mind waiting on charcoal to come up. Under the weather, just eating some bone broth and butter. Oh, you got one of them summer type flus or summertime blues? Bone broth and butter crackers. Well, I guess I'm still hungry because that don't sound too bad either. I might have to go do me one of them midnight raids. Well, it's almost midnight. Might have to do one of them 2:00 raids tonight. Yeah, I'll tell you what, them little summer colds, them things knock me down harder than the ones in the winter. Well, we still got 9 people in here. Let's see here, comments. Anybody wants to pop up, there you go. Somebody needs to prod me with some stuff to talk about because I'm not a chatty. Here I am running a live stream and I'm not a chatty person. Go figure. Yep, that's true. That's true, Jen. Well, I got to tell you, whether they go away quick or not, I usually milk them for all they're worth. You know, I'm sure all you wives out there know us husbands are just big babies anyway. There you go, Russ. Take one for the team. I have been holding back on some of them libations here for a while. I've got so many medications I'm taking. I'm just a little leery about mixing it with alcohol. The doctor said, in moderation it'd probably be okay, but I just being overly cautious, I guess. Got that 1 year mark coming up next month. I can't believe it's been a whole year. Thank you, Jen. For all y'all having fall, that's why I threw that up there. We don't have much of a fall down here. It's fire and then it's cold. If you're lucky enough to catch fall on the weekend, it's about 3 days. I exaggerate. We probably have a few weeks of cooler nice weather, but we don't go through the leaf color changes and stuff like they do up north. Russ, 40 day. Jeez. Do you whistle when you walk past? You ain't gonna sneak up on nobody. So what are you drinking tonight, Russ? I'll live vicariously through you tonight. Yeah, Jen, I found that background on YouTube about an hour before I went on. All right, Sonia, you have a good evening. Get yourself some rest and hit your ground running tomorrow. Appreciate you popping in for us. You could have been a lot of other places, but here tonight, and I appreciate you stopping by. So good night. So anyway, the background. Sometimes I'll, what I'm doing is just sharing a screen. Let me see here. Capture left screen. So a lot of times I'll just run a YouTube video full screen and just throw it in the background like that. And it works out pretty well. Every once in a while, you got to be careful, though. Some of them, they'll run an ad every 10, 15 minutes, and then it blows out your background. But I have been using a piece of software that I found that lets me download the videos. And that way I can play them as a file instead of streaming the actual video. And that keeps ads from popping up. So I don't think I'll get strikes on this. I haven't so far. But it gives me something different to throw back there. It's just something kind of fun to do. Try to mix things up a little bit. Uh-oh. Jim, well, there's a reason for that, and it's man math. So I got into this, and I wanted a nice camera. The camera I wanted I did not want to spend the money. To me, it just seemed like it just complete overkill. So, you buy a little webcam, and it was fine. It does great. There's no, I can't throw rocks at the webcam I was using. Other than, I like technology, and I wanted to buy something a little bit better. So I bought something a little bit better and liked it so well I ended up buying two of them. But, after a while, it still wasn't the camera that I wanted. So long story short, I ended up with about 4 or 5 webcams before I finally bought the camera that I wanted to start with, that I should have bought in the very beginning. And so you end up with all these other cameras laying around, and I just threw them up because I had them. I didn't set out to have that many angles or shots or anything like that. But now that I've already bought them, I'm just set them up, and plus, by using them, then it's easier to convince some of the actual management around here that they were needed. So this Smoky Cam, this is my Logitech 920. Still a great camera. I mean, you can see how nice and sharp. You can see the hair on my arm. It's a nice little camera. This is an Elgato. Well, let me see here. This is an Elgato camera right up here. That's the upgrade from my Logitech. And like I said, I bought two, so I ended up with one on the other side of the room too. And then the other day, here a while back, I hit a sale on an Insta360, so that's the one over behind me. And then this one is another little Logitech camera. But like I said, I didn't set out for that, but now that I have it, it's kind of fun. Better to have it and not need it, yeah. It's fun. It's fun, Jen. Well, that's just it. I mean, that's why I usually tell people if they ask for any suggestions or anything like that, I tell them, I said, it's better if you can make yourself hold off just another few months and save up to get what you want up front. Because if you buy something that's close, you're still not satisfied with it because you wanted something else anyway. So buy once, cry once. Don't do what I did and spend all that money on cameras that you ended up still wanting to do something different. Now, since I've got my new Sony up here, I've had this thing about 2 years now. I've not looked at another camera since. That's the one I wanted to start with. Got the lens I wanted, and it is major, major, major overkill for what I'm doing it for live streams. But I can take it down, take it on vacation with me if I want. I can shoot videos, YouTube videos with it if I want. But for the most part, it just sits here on an arm. Yep, you got it. Might as well figure out a way to use it. And I like I like the technology. And when you start getting into stuff like that, it hardly ever works the first time. So, I'd built a new computer two years ago, year and a half ago, I guess. And I couldn't get the cameras to work. And I had to do a lot of research and how USB channels work and how they trip over each other. And I ended up, the answer was putting a USB card for each camera in my computer. That way they all had their own channel. Because what happens is they fight. They fight for the signal. And it took me about, I don't know, 6-8 months to figure all that out. Bighorn broiler. What you cook on that thing? But anyway, you know, one fix opens up the door to something else not working. And if you like to tinker like I do, I like the challenge, and it's kind of fun. People think I'm nuts, but that's kind of fun stuff to me. You know, I used to work on cars, souping up cars and things like that, and they've just about made that impossible anymore. And as we get older, I'm not so much worried about how fast my car goes, but you know, I can really get butthurt if somebody got a computer runs faster than mine. So, wife says I have a problem. I don't get it. Bighorn broiler. What is that, Russ? What do you? Is that like a salamander like they'd have in a restaurant? I mean, I'm assuming bighorn broiler. I'm assuming that's got the heat source at the top. Yes. Okay. Okay. So can you cook like pizzas in it and stuff like that? Sear off your steaks? Is that? I mean, some of those broilers in the restaurants, don't they get up to like 1,600, 2,400 Fahrenheit? I mean, I know the ones I've seen on TV looks like they just almost instantly incinerate stuff when you throw it in there. All part of your plan. There you go. There you go. I got I got to laugh because that's something I would do. Spend a gazillion dollars on something and make toast in 3 seconds. I bet it's the best 3 second toast anybody ever made. I'm gonna keep throwing this out here until somebody bites. Keep throwing the hook out there, see if I can hook one of you. You know, I've been wanting to. I've been telling the wife, and she's been nervous here for a while. I want to make a pizza oven. I don't know how much I would use it, but I really want to make one. The garlic bread. But I've watched. I can't count how many videos I've watched on people making these pizza ovens and stuff from scratch, and I that just looks like a lot of fun. I don't know where I would put it, and that's the debate around this residence is where would I put it? And my argument is, well, you know, we can make pizzas, we can do breads, you know, different casserole dishes and stuff like that. Just one more reason not to heat the house up. Now there's a guy I watch on YouTube. He's his channel is the Wood Fired Oven Chef. Now you want to watch somebody work on a pizza oven, on everything but pizzas. This guy's got first class production, beautiful, beautiful oven, very calm voice, very soothing. I mean, very relaxing videos to watch. In fact, let me see if I can find. I'll throw the link up there. Let's see. There we go. Now, don't go watch him now. Stick around. But there's something for you to watch later. Yeah, Jen, you know that the problem I have using my broiler at home is it makes it. Maybe it's just the way I use it, but it seems to make an awful big mess, and I just hate cleaning it up. Well, in fact, I'll tell you here. Let me do this. Let me right side, right screen. There we go. Make him full size. That is a gorgeous oven. And I don't know the guy personally. He doesn't make videos often enough for me because I love watching his stuff. But, you know, he does pizzas. He does all kinds of Tuscan dishes. Just beautiful stuff. Breads. So if you get a chance, check him out if you're interested in that kind of stuff. And if you want to, leave him a comment. Tell him Grumpus sent you. Maybe he'll wonder who Grumpus is and check into my channel. That's right, Jen. That's right. But you know, idle hands. You know, that's the devil's workshop. But I would love to build an oven. Doesn't have to be necessarily that size, that big. But we used to have the grandchildren over when they were smaller, and I would make pizza dough, you know, through the week and have it ready for them when they come over on the weekends. And one of their favorite things to do was I'd have the, everything all cut up in little bowls and stuff like that. And everybody got to make their own pizza. I'd give them a ball of dough. They got to roll it out and stretch it out and make their own stuff. And it was a blast. They just making memories, you know. I don't know, Russ. I don't know how that all works. All I know is he does some gorgeous dishes. And some of his dishes look good too. his ceramic or porcelain dishes and cast iron, it all looks good. Oh yeah, Jen, I would definitely do a series of videos building something like that. But that would be a lot of fun. I think something could probably be done in 2 or 3 weekends. Famous last words. But then again, I've got my Lone Star Grill. The firebox is it's got the open top on it. I've dropped a grill down on, or a grate down on top of it, and just about anything I need to cook, I can use that Lone Star Grill. I can build fires in the bottom of it and use it as a grill. Rotisseries, I built a rotisserie and put on mine. Down at the other end, the cabinet end, I can build fires in the bottom and hang ribs and stuff like that, like a ugly drum, that type stuff. So, I think I did pretty well in making the decision with the Lone Star Grill that I bought. But at the same time, I kind of shot myself in the foot because it'd just about do. Anytime I think about getting another kind of cooker, I figure out a way to do it on this one grill. And it doesn't feed my acquisition ego enough. Well, so Russ, I'm not going to dig it for you, but if you want to come over, I'll have an X on the ground where you can start. Yeah, Russ, I was talking to the wife the other day. I need to do a follow up review because I've had that over 7 years now. Believe it or not, I've had it over 7 years, and for the most part, it still looks really good. Now I've lost a lot of paint on the firebox, and most of that's been my fault because I have really built some big fires in that thing. Fires that I shouldn't have built in it. But it's half inch. I know I'm not going to hurt it. But like if I wanted to do bread or something like that, if I want to get the chamber up to 400, 450, something like that, I got to build a hellacious fire down that firebox to get it to run that far and to get that hot. But that being said, the pit's holding up good. The only rust places I have is where I've blistered the paint, and I've had logs roll over, splits roll over and lay up against the side of the box, and I didn't catch it in time, and it got things a little hot. But I was telling the wife I need to do a 7-year review and show the modifications that I've done on it. Maybe even do a video on, sanding it down and painting it back up to look like new again. But I am notorious and have a reputation for buyer's remorse. And I got to say, for what I paid for that pit, I should have had it. And I have not been sorry a single day since I brought that thing home. And they're not paying me to say that either. I've paid for everything myself. Yeah, Russ, that video where I brought that thing home and that deck was giving way underneath it. It was so heavy. That's the same deck I'm on now. I'm still trying to get it replaced. Life gets in the way. Having to work and other things around the house. The stuff we want to do. There's just never time for that. All the stuff you have to do gets in the way. I've got a video coming up. It's going to be mostly an overdub video from some photos I took, but I had to redo the stacks, or not redo. I had to modify the stacks on my grill because it's got like a 5x5 pipe stack, sticks up about six inches or so. And when the last hurricane blew through, it tore all my cover up over the deck. It just wadded it up. It wasn't a big heavy thing, but it was up next to the stacks that's on the pit. Well, I ended up buying. I got a good deal on one of these kits, these deck cover kits, the gazebo kits. So it's like 13 by 12, I think, 13 by 11. But anyway, it's a kit, bolted it all together, metal roof and all that kind of stuff. Well, the roof came over the top of about the top inch of the stacks. So what I ended up doing was I had to slide the pit over about 6 inches away. But if the wind blew, it still blew that smoke in underneath the cover. So I ended up having to put some extension stacks over the existing stacks to get that smoke and heat up out of the way so it wouldn't be right there on the roof. But that's about all I'm going to tell you about that until I have the video ready. I should have done it already, but I've got this hang up. I was telling the wife, I said, I've got a lot of DIY stuff on my channel that usually does pretty good. But it's a cooking channel. I need to be cooking some stuff. But then again, I've got this stuff already. I've got it half done. I probably ought to go ahead and post it. See what kind of feedback I get. Your last comment didn't come up. I don't know why it didn't come up. I didn't do anything with it. Try it again, Jen. I would not, words of wisdom from Jen, I would not block any of those. So anyway, like I was saying, I've got the barbecue channel. I mean, there's only so many ways you can cook a brisket. And my DIY stuff seems to always do pretty good. I don't know. I think Russ is pretty handy with his hands. And I've always been a hands-on kind of guy, so it sometimes we forget, or I forget, that a lot of people don't have access to some of the tools that I have. Some of them, I mean, I've been this way since I was a kid, so it just comes easy to me. And, a lot of times the wife said, you should have done video on that, And I said, why would anybody want to watch that? But to me, it's just second nature. But there's people out there like to watch me get my hands dirty sometimes. So, I try to keep that type of videos reeled in so it doesn't overtake my channel. But I got to say, they generally do pretty well. A pretty good response from them. So I don't know what it's one of them things. Do you give them what they want, or do you do what you want to do? I bet you do more than try, Russ. Well, see, there you go. Yep, there you go. Brake jobs. I mean, especially disc brakes. I mean, I can do all four things. That's a 2-hour job to me. But there's a lot of people don't know. They wouldn't know the first thing about how to barely get the wheel off on their best. And I don't say that as, please don't take it as me being arrogant or anything like that. I mean, it's just the way you're brought up. My dad was a welder from the time he was 14 on up. And, I was in high school before I realized everybody don't have a pile of scrap behind the garage and welders and cutting torches, stuff like that. That was my normal. And sometimes, it's easy to forget. There's people out there, very, very smart people with a lot of ability, that don't know a Phillips hammer from a straight blade hammer. So, yeah, I remember Russ, back in my early years, we used to take the asbestos shoes and re-rivet them on the old. I mean, we'd do a disc brake or a drum brake job, and grind the old brake pad off, and re-rivet the material back onto them, and then we would have to mic them and arc them to match the drums that we done resurfaced. So it's a wonder we all don't have cancer from breathing all that stuff in, because I remember we'd do it, man, it'd fill the whole shop full of dust. 3 welds kill. My welds ain't pretty, but I can stick some shit together. I thought I heard a ding a minute ago. Did you guys hear it? Did somebody come in? That don't look like it. Maybe it was, let me check Instagram. No. I don't know what that was. Oh, shoot. There we go. Folks, I know it looks like I'm wandering all over the place, but you know, I got three monitors in front of me. They're kind of big, so I can see them. But the drawback is that spreads the real estate out to where I'm just looking everywhere but where I need to look, which I should be looking right there at you guys. But it's hard to do that and look at the comments. Yeah, Russ, I remember when I was a kid, me and my brother, we'd propped a board up on a brick and was running our bicycles over that ramp and jumping them. And my dad said, you guys tear your bikes up. I'm not fixing them. And wouldn't you know, I cracked a fork on my bike on the front wheel, and he didn't lie to me. He didn't fix it. And I'm 7 years old back there trying to fix my front fork with a welder, and I'm shoving a bolt down in the middle of it to give it some strength and all that stuff. But that was our normal. And I tell people, I had a welding rod in my hand when I was 7. And I thought everybody did it. Well, what did you cook, Jen? Oh, wait a minute. You did the flat iron, right? It won't let me go back that far. Okay. Restaurant, food truck, no money. Okay, well that's a nice goal to have. What's your ETA? What do you think your ETA is on getting that thing up and running? So what are you going to specialize? What kind of food are you going to specialize in, Russ? You got a steamer and fryer. And what part of the world are you in? Are you on a coast someplace? Those food trucks, we've got places here in Houston where they'll park a half dozen food trucks right there side by side, and you can run up there for like going to a food court on the mall. You drive up there and just about get any kind of food you want. And I got to tell you, some of that stuff off them trucks is better than most of the restaurants I've been going to. And I'm assuming you're doing all the work yourself? Anybody got anything good planned for tomorrow? Any good cooks tomorrow? I wasn't sure what I was going to do, but Jen's kind of got me jazzed up for fajitas tomorrow. Looky here, looky here. What's up, Tom? There you go. Hop on up if you feel so inclined. I haven't talked to Charlotte tonight. I'm assuming she's at the ball game with her son. I hope I haven't. Hope she's not sick or down with anything. So what's that mean, Russ? Are you? I keep getting away from the mic. Are you? Are you cooking stuff at home, and then packing it up in coolers to keep things warm, and doing it that way? Because when I drug that big monster home 7 years ago, my wife, she just shaking her head. She said, "What in the world do you need something like that for?" And I told her, I said, "Well, we're getting older. I'm not sure how the chips are gonna fall. We may be selling barbecue sandwiches in Home Depot parking lot later. So I might need some space." I'm still trying to work out a deal. There's a we rent the back part of our property where I work to a soccer league, and I've been trying to get that old boy to let me sell him or get him to buy brisket and pulled pork from me to where I just want to cook the meat. I don't want to cater nothing and just cook the meat. And I told him, I said, I can bring that stuff over to you Saturday morning, and I'll pull it for you. I'll slice it and have it all ready to go for you. But you make your own sandwiches and charge what you need to charge for it, because I really don't want to sit out in the sun on a Saturday and a Sunday all day just making sandwiches. That don't sound like fun to me, but it is fun to sit at home on a lawn chair and cook that stuff up. Got some kind of bug. Oh, okay. Okay, Russ. So I'm confused. How does that work, Russ? Oh, you're making garlic bread. Okay, so you'll be doing that on the. So you'll be doing that on location. Okay. Well, Tom, I hope you get to feeling better. I think Jen said she's got like a little summer cold herself. Maybe you got the same thing. Something going around I'm not aware of. Okay, I got you, Russ. So where do you cook that? Or are you buying it already cooked? Yeah, you guys might be neighbors. Yeah, that little cook I did 2 weekends ago was about all the effort I want to put into it. I just did the meats. I did end up doing some cooking on site, but they did all the sides They had all the chafing dishes. They had all the plates, all that kind of stuff. Well, sound like you got a good plan there, Russ. Tom, is that close to where you're from? Uh-oh. So you don't know what kind of cooties you got from her. Man, I went to the store. I went to the store 2 nights ago. What is this, Friday? Saturday? Yeah. It's Thursday night. The wife said that she needed milk. She needed milk, and if I could remember, pick up a box of cereal. Well, I went in and got her milk and her cereal. They had some chicken on sale, so I picked up some chicken, picked up a little of this, a little of that, a little cat food. Before you know it, it was $177. And what really hurt my pride the most was I pushed the cart out front, grabbed the bags in one hand, and carried them to the car. And I told the wife, I said, that's 99 cents a pound chicken. What, if we went to stock up on beef or pork or something like that, I mean, it'd take a small loan just to stock up a pantry anymore. So I don't know if the end's in sight. But I don't know how some people are making it. To be honest with you. So I ended up buying 2 packages of thighs and a package of legs. 13 legs, and I think there was 10 thighs for a package. Put 99 cents a pound. So I usually buy it like that, and I'll drop a leg and a thigh in a zip or a vacuum bag and freeze them and put them away that way. That way, they're individual portions. So whenever I need them, when I come home, you can throw those in a sink of water and it don't take 10, 15 minutes from thaw out. Oh, I know, Russ. I know. I'm buying 1x6s and 2x6s, random lengths by the truckload, and you would just not believe what I'm having to pay for some of that stuff. It is just, when I quote people, when they call for quotes, I used to tell them I could honor that price for 30 days. But anymore, I tell them a week. If you don't send me a PO within a week, we'll have to go back and check current prices again, because the stuff is just like a roller coaster. Yeah, $22 for one sheet. And it's everywhere. I mean, I went to Friday. I went to a place. This machinery I was telling you I was working on. They broke a bolt and one of them was bent. So I had to go all the way across town to find the threads that I needed and the case hardened bolts and all that stuff. So I ended up buying 4 bolts. It was $24 and some change. 4 bolts. Hey, Susie, how you doing? Good to see you, Susie. Thanks for stopping by. There's a link if you want to come up and make some noise. Yeah, I mean the prices are ridiculous, but when you start putting them sacks in your hand, and you got all your groceries in one hand and your keys in the other hand, and you done spent over $100. I mean that just hurts my feelings. Well, Susie, if you want to jump up, show everybody your Christmas lights. It's okay. We're all friends here. Tom, I need to go back on some of your videos and leave some comments because I've been watching your stuff. But like I've told you before, if I'm at work, I mean, my boss knows I'm on YouTube and all that kind of stuff like that. And if I'm over there clickety clacking away all day long, he pretty much knows I'm not working. So you watch the video and then you tell yourself, I'm gonna go back when I get home. I'm gonna go back and leave a comment, and I forget. I've also been hankering some beef ribs. I haven't done beef ribs. Well, I haven't done a video on beef ribs in quite a while. I've got one. I've got a butcher not too far from me. Well, I mean it's 20 minutes, I guess, and I can get some pretty good beef ribs over there. Got the bone. You got so much meat on top of them. That's about the only place I'll buy them because, I mean, if you go to H-E-B or Kroger or a place like that, they've done skinned so much meat off the bones. I mean, they're almost shining before you even cook them. And, I've tried doing them a few times just for the family, but it's almost not worth the effort of, letting them go all day or big part of the day. And then just such a small, I mean, you can do two slabs of 4 bones and 2 people. It barely feeds 2 people because there's no meat on them hardly. Well, Tom, is your foot doing any better? Tom tried to sneak up on a door jamb in the middle of the night, and it bit him. Well, folks, we've been at this an hour and 49 minutes. I think I'm only going to go about another 10 minutes, and we'll wrap up a 2-hour show. So if anybody's got anything to plug or anything like that, now'll be the time to jump up here and do it. One last time, I'm going to throw this up there. Saved $150 at Winco. We don't have any Wincos down here. I had some coupons at H-E-B the other night, but I think it was like $3. And the thing is, ended up buying a couple of items I didn't even care to have just so I could get the freebie. went up to the register. Lady checked me out, the young gal. She said, "Well, did you find everything you needed?" And I said, "I just came from milk." That's some expensive breakfast right there. So, Tom, what's on the menu for tomorrow? Did you already post your video for tomorrow, or does that come out? I can't remember what time you post your stuff. I thought you had a pretty set schedule. And how's your lovely wife doing? After midnight. It's after midnight here. It's almost 1 o'clock. Midnight your time? Trying to remember, you're 2 hours difference. So another hour, I guess. All righty, Russ. I sure appreciate you spending your time tonight with us. Pacific Standard Time? Okay, a couple hours, if I remember right. Russ, it's good talking to you, as always. Have a good evening. And keep us updated on your progress on your truck. That's got a little bit of interest in that. I'm trying to figure out how to make a few bucks cooking barbecue without going into business. I guess I want to be an entrepreneur and not put any work in it. The American dream. So I don't know if y'all noticed or not, but my logo up here at the top says Grumpus After Dark. I did that with DaVinci Resolve, and it's on like a 90-second loop, I think. But if you watch it, it's got a lens flare runs across it about every 90 seconds. And I'm so proud of that. I worked 2 days on that. I probably got 7 hours in that logo trying to get to do what I want to do. So we're still using EV Mux. I'm getting settled in. I'm already starting to get to the point to where I'm wanting to do other things that it's not capable of doing. So for streaming, it seems to be doing really, really well. To do what I want to do, I would probably need to stream on OBS. The problem is OBS is not that user friendly when it comes to getting guests on the screen. Let me back up and clarify that. I can get guests on the screen, but it's not a very good user experience for the guest that joins. So it's not like here to where you pretty much see everything that's going on. OBS it's just not made for that. So I'm still looking for something a little better. And I'm hoping EV Mux has enough updates here lately that maybe it'll start letting us do some other things. Just to break up the monotony. I get bored real fast. And Tom, did your software issues work out pretty good? Oh, here's the Smoky Cam. She come in to join us. Of course, she's turned her back to me. She's pouting because she went on my lap. And Tom, have you heard from Charlotte? Usually she lets me know if she's having a game or something. I hope she's not sick. I don't recall her saying anything about being out of town. And then again, maybe she just needed a break, and that's okay. I understand that. Okay, y'all, I'm going to start wrapping things up here. We're 3 minutes left. Everybody in the chat, I really appreciate you stopping by tonight. You could have done other stuff, and you chose to do this. So I really appreciate it. Charlotte, I think she normally runs. Oh gosh, I'll get it wrong again. Tuesday, I think. I'm not going to say anything. I don't want to say wrong. But she got a couple of lives she does through the week. So check her channel out. You can get your times from there. Next week, next Saturday, Charlotte will be hosting the After Dark show, and she usually comes on. She likes to start hers about 9:30, a little bit earlier for the sane people. I think I'm caught up with the chat. Didn't miss anybody. So y'all have a good night. I hope you have a fun Sunday. Be good, be safe. And I think, where am I at here? I'm lost in my own show. All right, we'll see y'all later. Y'all take care.